Hi everybody, I am David Crisaro and it is time to be awesome. I am here with award-winning magician Mark DeSouza, who's agreed to spend a couple minutes with us today. Mark, thank you very much for coming out.
Dave, thanks for asking me.
Appreciate it. Now, normally when somebody says that they're sitting with an award-winning magician, it means that a couple of years ago they maybe placed third in IBM somewhere along the way or did something at SAM. No. When I say award-winning magician Mark DeSouza, I am talking about the 1978 stage competition at the SAM, the tied for second in the 1982 IBM for close-up, stage again SAM 1989, tell me when I'm wrong.
And silver medal.
And silver medal.
Right.
95 close-up, second place SAM, 96 first place close-up SAM, IBM three-time gold medal winner, FISM in 79, 82 in stage, and then 97 in close-up.
Correct.
I am here with award-winning magician Mark DeSouza.
I just want to correct one thing. I was not three-time gold medal winner. I was three-time gold medal finalist in stage competition at IBM.
All right, so then I really don't want to interview Mark DeSouza. We need to get the good guys here. No, that is incredible. I mean, you are somebody with a ton of experience when it comes to competitions in both stage and close-up.
Right.
My first question to you is, when you're competing and you know that you've got a panel of magician judges watching you, what's the mindset? Are you trying to come up with something so unique and original that you want to fool them? Or is it, I don't care about fooling them, I just want to do something so well that they can attest to the practice and the time you put in on it? Which one of the two?
The answer is yes.
Okay.
Actually, there's a third category as well. I break it down to, if you want to be successful in a competition, you either have to be highly original, your presentation has to be very different, or your skill level must be very, very high. In other words, very, very tough sleight of hand material. And in the competitions in close-up, I think I try to mix those three together. I think I came up with the award-winning routine that I did to win the award in '96, both SAM and IBM, and also competed with at FISM, was an act based on the theme of time.
Right.
And so there was a concept that tied everything together. So there was something original about that presentation just from that aspect.
Okay.
But there were classic effects in it, and there were new effects in it. And I tried to take any of the classic effects and put a twist on them so there was something different. It didn't look like every other magician that did them.
Okay. Any difference in terms of what you did for IBM SAM to what you did at FISM?
No, actually, that was a very difficult decision I had to make. At FISM, you're dealing with an international audience.
Okay.
And though the theme of time is universal, my presentations tend to be rather verbose, and I use a lot of 50-cent words.
Okay.
It's tough enough for English-speaking natives to understand some of what I was saying. But for a European audience, those who have English as a second, third, fourth, or fifth language, or not at all, for them to be able to appreciate my act, it became far more difficult, and that was something for me to really think about. So the question was, do I either change the act to accommodate that type of venue, that kind of competition, or do I stick with the material that I won with and the reason I win? And I decided the latter. I really needed to stick with what was true to me.
There. Mm-hmm.
And that really was, my style, certainly at the time, and continues to be my style. I tend to be, kind of talkative.
Now, I mean, the first one was SAM in 1978, all the way up through 96. So you're talking about a span of 20 years here that you've been competing.
Well, no, actually longer than that. My first competition was my first convention in 1968 at the SAM convention in Philadelphia.
Wow.
I was competing in what was then the teenage division, and I was woefully unprepared for that. I had no idea. Looking back, I have no idea why I was there. I did not belong there, but yet I did. The next competition I did was actually '72 SAM, and I placed third on stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 72 all the way up through your last competition
97. I told people I was retiring in 96. That was going to be my last. But as part of winning the SAM competition, they asked me to represent the SAM at FISM in 97. So that was it.
And over the span of that 25 years, what do you see, if looking back, what do you see changed in terms of your philosophy to competing from the first one to the last one? What did you learn from 25 years of competing experience?
I think there's a lot of things that I learned from that experience, but I think anybody can learn from that experience. I know when I first started competing, it was, I want to win, I want to win. That's not the best reason to compete.
Okay.
I think you want to compete so that you get seen.
Okay.
I think you want to compete so that you have the opportunity to be critiqued by people who are qualified to critique you.
Right.
And I think it just gives you, something of a notoriety if you do well. And it gives you a chance to be exposed to a lot of people, and a lot of people exposed to you. And so I know that as a result of competition, I got to do a lot of traveling. I got to do, on somebody else's dime. That's the best way to go.
Always good.
I got to perform at a lot of different conventions. I got to meet a lot of great people. And then, I got the benefit of having people critique me who I respected a lot. And some of it was good critique. Some of it was stuff that was, I didn't find personally valid, but I can understand why people were saying certain things. I think at some point you have to filter what is told you, and you have to determine if that's something that's really valid in your own vision of what you do, as well as the person that it's coming from. Is it somebody whose vision is similar to yours?
Okay. Okay. Now, I also know that, obviously during the span of your magic career, history is very important to you when it comes to the history of magic. You've done presentations on the history of magic at the Theory and Art of Magic at Muhlenberg College. And I believe there's something on is there something on the DVDs that are coming out?
Yes. I actually created a number of years ago a presentation called The History of Magic Through Performance.
Okay.
And this is a presentation that I do for laymen, not for magicians, really.
Right.
I have done it for magicians or organizations occasionally, but it's primarily for colleges, literary societies, historical societies, those types of things. And it's a 75 real people. And it's a 75-minute presentation, multimedia presentation using PowerPoint, as well as the performance of 12 or 13 historically significant pieces of magic. And the history is important because I don't know who said it, but if we do not listen to history, we are doomed to repeat their mistakes.
Right.
I think we as magicians can learn from history by studying the masters, the people who were so good at what they did in their day, and examine not only what they did, but why what they did was so good, how they related what they did to the times that they performed it, to the social mores, to the political or news events of the day, which magicians very often did. Sometimes tricks were, satires of political events. One of the most famous effects in the world, the Rabbit in the Hat, was actually a result of a magician kind of doing a parody of a news story that came out about a woman named Mary Toff, who supposedly gave birth to rabbits.
Okay.
So
You know what? Hey, I've heard weirder stories on TMZ and stuff like that, so I believe it. I don't think there's an accident. I don't think this is an accident. I don't think, in addition to being a technically skillful magician, your love of history, your desire to really research and gather as much information as possible, and your success.
No, I believe that you have to gather as much information as you can before you can create something that becomes your ultimate version of something.
Okay.
And so I like to look at every version I can of a piece of material before I begin creating the version that I'm going to perform. And there are things that come about later on, new developments, that cause me to go back and relook at what I created. My work is never, a solid, immovable object. It can be in flux at any time.
Nice.
And so one of the pieces, Three Fly, that I did in my act back in '96. I had been doing it several years prior to that even, but over the period of time since then, I've changed my handlings of Three Fly that I use because of new technological developments.
Right, right. Well, that's great. What I want to do right now is we're going to take a quick break, Mark, and your house is full of such great magic history, and it's obviously a passion of yours. We're going to stop for a second. We're going to go take a look at a couple quick pieces. I want you to kind of talk us through it, and then if you're going to do a little magic for us as well, that's great. If anybody has any questions that they want to send Mark, you can shoot them over to us. You can send them to magic@timetobeawesome.com. That's magic@timetobeawesome.com. And we'll do that, and let's go take a look at some history, then we'll do some tricks. I'm here with Mark DeSouza. We'll be right back.
Well, these are the posters that I have up currently. I've gotten to the point now where I have to kind of rotate posters like gallery showings. But there's just such a variety of posters throughout a period of time that go anywhere from more historical stuff to more current things. this one over here in particular, Mark Salem's Mind Games. I'm very pleased with that one, though, because this is, I was the consultant, one of the two consultants on Mark Salem's first show. Actually, Mark is one of my very oldest friends in the field of magic. We go back to when we were just very, very small kids. There's an interesting one there, I don't know if you can particularly see it, that says coat check. That one, with all the autographs, that was actually the sign from the coat check at the presidential inaugural in 2001 that I performed at, along with a whole bunch of other magicians. You probably read about it in some of the magazines back at that time, but there was, you know, kind of like a who's who of close-up magic. It was really, really terrific. There's a great poster they used to use at the Brook Farm Inn of Magic, a terrific place that used to be in Chevy Chase, Maryland. That features Bob Sheets in a bunny suit, something you won't see very often nowadays. A number of different shows, Doug Henning's Merlin, Wonder House, which was a great Broadway show that didn't run terribly long, but featured the late Milo and Roger, as well as the Omar Pasha Black Art Act, Jay's Journal of Anomalies, that was a promo for Ricky Jay's magazine and eventual book, Tomfoolery. The Willard the Wizard poster is interesting. It was autographed by Willard the Wizard, a new book that just came out recently on the Willard family. Something with a pack of cards. Not actually a full deck of cards, just a few cards, to be exact. The first card, the Ten of Spades, I'm going to place here on this card case. Now we'll need another card, a contrasting card. Oh, that's a perfect one, the Four of Diamonds. Now the Four of Diamonds, all I have to do is hold it up here, give it a little snap just like that. I now have the Ten of Spades in my hand, and on the card case is the Four of Diamonds. Now I'll do that again. I realize that was a little quick. Once again, we place the Ten of Spades on the pack, just like this. And the other card, the Four of Diamonds, we'll leave right on top of the pack here. Actually, let me take it off, because this is going to happen at the count of 1, 2, 3. I've got the Ten of Spades, and on the pack, the Four of Diamonds.
Mark, that was really great. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
David, my pleasure.
I appreciate it. Keep your eyes open, because Mark's got some DVDs coming out pretty soon from L&L Publishing. So keep your eyes on the Magic magazines and message boards. Be ready for that. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. If you have any questions for Mark about the history of magic or anything like that, please feel free to email us at magic@timetobeawesome.com. My name is David Crisaro. This is Mark DeSouza. Thanks for watching. Now, go be awesome. Thanks.